What's up, guys? Me and my shop dog. Me and the shop dog here. We're about to have to get busy. Today's gonna be a different video. I need to do plugs, oil change, and swap out the front tires on my van before I take the trip up to Conyers to go to work. Also got another video coming for y'all. I got a head gasket job I got to do, so I'm gonna film that as well. And when we get home, I've got the off-road trailer build up here. I'm gonna extend the axles and put those four-wheeler tires on it, cause I was going to put them on the front of the tractor here. They don't look right. I don't like them. They're too high. It makes my mower sit like a squat mower. It just, I'm not doing the Carolina squat on my shit. I'd rather it squat in the front and squat in the rear. I don't sit down to pee. So, there will be no squat mowers going on. No squat anything. So I just decided to keep the front tires the way they are. It sits level. The 4000 sits level, because I was going to start, moving tires around. Like I was going to take the 20s off the front of my tractor here, and I was going to put them on the 4000 and get bigger tires for the GT. But it'd make them both have the Carolina squats, and that's not happening. So what I'm going to do is I've got the tires that I was getting up to put on there. They're like 22, 21 by 7 by 10, something like that. But they're going to go on the off-road trailer. I think they'll be great. And this thing has an awful valve ticking going on. Like, I fired it up last night to go get that trailer, and it just started ticking, and it got worse. So I'm not running it anymore until I come home and fix it. I'm pretty sure the rocker actually came loose. So I'm just going to go in there and tighten everything up, get my valve lash right. And maybe that'll also take out my hard starting when I go to first hit my key sometimes, and it'll just, the motor will, and then I have to let off the key and then, hit it again. I believe my valve lashing is wrong in that engine, and I've never actually done anything to it, but it's time to get that problem addressed. So we're going to be working on the van. I've got a few more things to get out of the house. Unfortunately, the tires that I'm going to be putting on the fronts are not the same size. It's a set of tires that I have from my Alumina, and they're the same bolt pattern. They're 220 560 16s instead of 15s, but they're going to be a little smaller in the front. So that means my front end's going to sit just a little lower, but I've got to. My tires are making my front end shake so bad. At 55, it's like, and until I get this money from this job, I can't keep driving it like this. Wet roads and two mix match patterns of tread on the front, it's not good. So I'm actually gonna get those taken care of. I'm just going to have to put some smaller tires on it for now. I mean, they're safe, they're new, they're good. They're just not what I'm used to having. So let's get to it. Alright, so we got our 235/75/15 off. So that's my spare. I'm going to take it with me. Probably going to take both tires with me just in case, but 225/60/16. It's a lot smaller than I want it to be, and it looks like shit, but right now it's not about looks and how good my tires grip and this, that, and another. It's about safety. It's about my front end not shaking so bad that it feels like I've got death wobble. That's what needs to be addressed. Because I mean, I got a 2.5 hour drive. I don't need any problems. It's a lot of twisty and windy roads and shit, and I just don't need any extra problems with this thing. We'll get to the spark plugs and the oil change here soon. Like I said, I've got that tire on, and I'm about to come over here and put this tire on. So it's got new wheel hubs and everything. I redid all that. But yeah, I see why they're jumping. Yeah, the van should drive a lot better after I put these tires on. And these are only temporaries. I'm actually going to get better tires for my wheels. So that's my spare. You can tell it's a different wheel. It's actually an Oldsmobile wheel. Came off of an Oldsmobile 88 Royale. These wheels that are on the van, they're stock. These are Cadillac SLS wheels. And then the wheels that I have on the Lumina down there, let's zoom into those wheels. Those are Pontiac Aztec wheels. So I had a black Aztec I parted out. That car got the wheels, the roof rack, and it's about to get the engine from that car in it. But yeah, I just got a bunch of mix match wheels around here. I'm just, you know, I mean, they're sets. They're not mix match, they're mix match sets. So, like, that's a whole matching set on that car. This van, their stock wheels, they're painted and the center caps removed with new lug nuts. They're all a matching set of wheels. And then I've got the single Oldsmobile wheel, and then over there I've got the Cadillac SLS wheels. So that's what I'm doing. I'm about to get the other side switched out, and I will show y'all what it looks like, even though it still looks like shit. And then we can get to the plugs and the oil change and be ready to hit the road in this rig. Him did the sweetest boy. Raining. Wished it wasn't, but it is. shop dog out here with me, helping me do the job. Ain't that right, buddy? He's the sweetest. You helping me, Marshall? Huh? You helping me? Him's is a good boy. Tires off. Watch out, Marshall. Watch out, buds. It's my good helper. All right. You glued up my butt today, aren't you, buddy? I'm okay with that. Yes, I'm okay with you being glued up my butt. He's a good boy. Alright. Find the hole, dumbass. Sure wish it would stop raining, because I've got things to do. Alright, now that that's done, we can get to the spark plugs. Alright, update progress. Both tires are on. Shop dog sleeping in the shop. Got front 3 spark plugs replaced. Working on the rears right now. Before I do the rears, I'm draining the oil. I'm gonna change out the oil filter to get the oil done, because I have to remove my 2 front upper motor mounts, ratchet strap the motor forward so I can get to those back 3. I hate the way you designed this, GM. Dumb fucking design. Make it harder for people to work on this son of a bitch, so you have to bring it back to shop and have it serviced. I'm gonna do it anyway because I don't have anybody touch my shit. I do my own stuff, so we'll just ratchet strap the motor forward, get to the back 3 spark plugs, get those replaced, and then we can hit the road. Alright, so our oil change is done. We got our filter put on, we got our oil drain. I've got to fill it. This vehicle is a 3.4 liter GM V6. It takes a full 5 quarts. So we're going to fill. Our oil. Alright. Just got a drop or 2 on it. Alright. And our oil is changed. So now we can move on to our back 3 spark plugs. Alright, went inside, took me a quick break. I'm back at it. Got to get to the back 3. I've already got my motor mounts disconnected from the engine part, and I loosened this side over here, folded them up, put my ratchet strap on, went down to my subframe, and ratchet strapped the motor far enough forward that I can get my hands back in there and get the spark plugs changed. So see if I can. Show it maybe a little bit better of an angle. Maybe a little C better too. That would help. Okay. So let's reach in under here. damage the plug wire. I don't want them to damage my plug wire, so I've been taking a set of vice grips and grabbing, not too tight, but grabbing the boot. So I can kind of better coax it out of there without pulling the wire out of the boot. But you got to be careful while doing this. I hate doing these. GM, I hate you for this. Whoever designed this van, I hate you for this. Wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. This thing is a major pain in the ass to work on. Doing any task on this van is a problem. I think I finally found the boot, but I didn't. Motherfucker. I hate this van. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Gives me nothing but fucking problems. Don't ever get one. The only reason I have it is because I got it for free. In other words, I wouldn't have this piece of shit. I might pull my coil packs. Stupid Buick fucking vehicle. Stupidly built fucking machine. These engineers are just out to fuck us mechanics every time. Luckily, I don't have the bottom bolts in for the coil packs for this reason. I just put the top ones in, set the bottom ones down on their studs, and that's how they ride. Fuck all this shit. Now, if it was on someone else's vehicle, I'd have put the bolts back, like on a customer's car. But on my own shit, I want it the way I want it. 2 bolts are enough to hold on the coil packs. And it's just the coil pack plate anyway. If you're familiar with these GM 3.4 V6s at all, you'll know what I'm talking about. Fuck, I stand corrected. Goddamn bolt back there. Fucking cars. Guess I did put them back on, or at least one of them. I don't remember when I did that. I did it at some point. Whole stud. Everything is on fucking top of each other in this damn thing. I mean, I've rebuilt the motor in this thing twice, but fuck, I'm sick of working on it. Alright, now I got better access to my spark plugs. It is a ridiculous pain in the ass that I have to pull out all my coil packs and ratchet strap my motor forward just to get to my back 3 spark plugs. So thank you for that, GM. shit used to be good. I don't know what the fuck happened. Finally, got it to come out. spark plugs aren't that bad. They could have been cleaned and put back in. They got a little, they look to be wearing properly. These could be cleaned and regapped and put back in. So what I actually do, since I'm replacing these anyway, I save the old ones. Never know when you might need a backup. Say if one broke, blew out, went bad on the way up there. Not the same brand, AC Delcos versus NGK, but I could clean it, put one in, and make it somewhere where I could get another one. So it's always something that you might want to keep in mind. I always try to roll prepared. We're installing the new spark plug. Over tighten them. You just kind of want to get them snug. Especially if you have aluminum head, you definitely don't want to over tighten them. And most aluminum heads, you don't want to replace your spark plugs if your engine's hot. I let this sit. This is the next day. I actually worked on something else that night, let the engine completely cool. I have not cranked it since, and I'm doing everything cold. I don't like to do my oil change cold, but since I'm doing the spark plugs and everything, and I'm kind of don't have much time to, you know, get this done before I have to make a trip, I'm kind of just doing it like I'm doing it. On the next one. Probably gonna have to do the vice grip trick on this boot because it is stuck as well. Everything still looks good. This vice grip trick works well if you're trying to save your spark plugs and they're stuck. Not too much pressure, but just right around there to where you can take and pull on the channel lock or the vice grip here, instead of pulling on your boot, pulling on your wire and risking pulling your wire out of your boot. That way you don't rip anything inside of here or anything of that sort. You're dealing with nothing but the boot. Just little tips and tricks that I use as an everyday mechanic that runs his own business. You can, you know, take my advice or weigh it with a grain of salt, you know. If you don't want to use it, fine. If it's something that works for you, let me know. It's nice knowing I can help people make their jobs a little easier, especially when it comes to the field of the pain in the ass of working on cars sometimes. Things ain't built like they used to be. That spark plug looks weared evenly as well, just like the rest of them. Looks like I've got even compression on all cylinders, even wear, and that's a good sign. That means I rebuilt the engine properly, and that's what I like to see. Now, given it has been a long time since I've actually done things like this, it's probably been since I rebuilt the engine 2 years ago. Yeah, it should run better. I actually didn't have money at the time because I just moved and had other things I had to take care of, past due bills and stuff like that, so I kind of put it off for a while. Oil change too, so rule of thumb, don't ever buy a vehicle from a mechanic if it says mechanic owned. We don't maintenance it like it's supposed to be. We know the limits of the son of a bitch and we push it as far as we can go. Don't buy things from mechanics. That one actually came off by my hand. It's a nice change. Looks good. I like to do things one at a time, because if you go pulling up all these spark plug wires and everything all at once, then you actually don't truly know how to put things back unless you look it up online or you know what you're doing, or you're familiar with the firing order on your vehicle. Wow, the spark plug was actually loose. I was losing compression. That explained the horsepower loss. I should have pulled these and cleaned them a long time ago. Well guys, I should say that she's going to run a lot better on the way up Conyers. Now it wasn't completely loose, but I was able to start unthreading it by hand. And that gap's substantially big, so probably wasn't firing properly. Should will be now. I like to thread them in by hand and get them hand tight and then put a wrench on them, because that way you prevent cross threading, especially with these aluminum heads. You got to be careful. You'll end up with a cross-threaded, stripped out damn spark plug hole in a second. So make sure your thread lines up before you start wrenching on it. Like I said, it's best if you got good threads and good spark plugs, they should thread in by hand. If they don't, you probably have a problem somewhere. And you might want to go ahead and grab a tap and run it through that hole real quick. The only thing is, then you risk getting shavings down in your engine, so that's really a hard one to tell you. But we have our spark plugs replaced. Which I'm glad is finally done. Always make sure your spark plug boots click in, because you'll hear it pop. They should always click in. If they don't, you don't have it on there right. Put my coil packs back in. There's 3 wires that go to it. One on one side, 2 clip ends on the other. Got to thread my stud back in down here. One thing I didn't do that you probably should do is disconnect your battery, because I'm really close to the alternator. But mine's all covered up, so I'm not really too worried about it. But I would advise y'all to do so, just to prevent a mishap. I always take a socket and thread my bolts in by hand. That way there's no chances of cross-threading my aluminum shit. Make sure everything's lined up. Make sure we hook up our vacuum system for our brakes. Make sure our spark plug wires are still on the coil pack. reconnect our windshield wiper arm. Okay, sometimes you got to coax that in place, especially if you don't take the whole front clip off like I don't, so I don't lose my shit. You don't need to. If you loosen it up enough, it'll pop right off. Just make sure you don't turn your gear here for your windshield wiper motor, because then you'll be off timing. Your windshield wipers have to be timed on this unit because they intersect each other. So if they're not timed right, they will either stick up when you turn them off, or they will hit each other as they come down and up. And you don't want that, because then you'll be stripping gears and busting motors. So, alright. We've got that situated. Okay, all that's tight. We're going to release tension. That's my neighbor. We're going to release tension on our ratchet strap here. Now we might need to use our ratchet strap, drag it back in just a hair to line up one side of our engine mount up here. That way we don't have to fight getting the bolt in. As you see. You just tighten everything up. Alright, our vehicle work is done. Oil change, plugs and wires, everything's been put back together. I wish my engine paint didn't start coming off like it did, but it did. Front tires are on. And that's it. So, I hope this video finds it to y'all and y'all find it useful. If anything helped y'all out, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what part of the video helped you with your project or your, fix on your 3.4. These 3.4s are in more than just this van. Impalas, the 3.1s and the 3.4s are about the same engine. A few things are different depending on years, but most of it is just the displacement inside of the engine and not the actual engine itself. So it's usually the same bolt pattern, everything's usually the same to an extent. Just like on my 95. I have a 3.4 sitting under that tarp right there. It's the same exact engine that goes in this. That has a 3.1, but it's getting a 3.4. It's possible. There's many GM engines or cars out there that has this engine in it. So if you need anything, any kind of information off of 3.4, just look up 3.4. It don't have to be like if you're looking for a video for how to replace the alternator on a well, I wouldn't say alternator because the alternator's hard, but let's say throttle body on a 3.4 van. Well, you could look up the video on an Impala and it would show you about the same thing because it's kind of right there. It needs to get to, not under the shit. That's a different process. But like I said, hope y'all found it useful. Give it a like if you did. Comment down below and let me know, you know, any of your tricks. Do you have any special tricks to work on these fucking pain in the ass engines? Let me know. If you found some of my tricks useful, let me know. And until then, we're going to get up to Conyers and get to work on this head job. So I'll see you guys on that video.